And then we're going to move on to my natural labor tips. This is just kind of like an extra. Ladies, to my laboring mamas, and to my ladies who maybe are watching this who haven't had children yet, when you use your contraction app, especially if it's your first, but when you use your contraction app, I know they say 511 again, which is your contractions are 5 minutes apart for lasting 1 minute long, over an hour. That is your sign to go to the hospital, call the midwife, call the doula, whatever. If you notice that your contractions are intensifying and it may not follow that 511 situation, maybe they're getting more strong for, again, every 30 minutes or 45 minutes, similar to mine, girl, go to the hospital. Do not wait like I did, because I almost had my baby in the car. Oh my goodness. And they say with each child, your contractions, or excuse me, your labor gets quicker and quicker. And they were not playing. I thought they were playing with me, but they weren't. I took it personal, Chips. I took it personal, like, talk about something. Don't push. Ma'am, I'm pushing. Okay. Y'all not about to hold up my labor. No, thank you. So yes, y'all, I spent my Labor Day in labor. Celine asks, has labor been fairly easy for you? I wouldn't necessarily say easy. And I'm gonna talk about something a little bit further in terms of the natural, in terms of the tips I have for you. But no, Celine, I wouldn't say it's been easy. It's been quick. So I am definitely blessed in that frame, because I understand that some laboring mothers, they were in labor for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Someone told me, and was that you, Lady Di, if you're still watching? Someone told me they were in labor. She was in labor for like a week or something. Oh no. Because the thing is with that, especially if you're trying to give birth naturally, it isn't good for you to be in an extended labor, right? Because it causes stress on your body. It makes you extremely fatigued. And so when it is time to push and things like that, it can be more difficult, and mama's blood pressure could be high by that point, and you can't have a natural labor with high blood pressure. And there was one other thing I was going to say. Fatigue, your blood pressure could be high. There's one more, slipped my mind. But those things aren't necessarily the best situation to have a specifically natural birth in. So I'm certainly blessed, Celine, but I wouldn't say labor is easy. It definitely takes mental strength to give birth natural. Okay, let me see. Thank you so much, Big. Lady Di says better time them, because soon as they get 2 minutes apart consistently, it's on and popping. Exactly. That's why that whole 1 minute thing, I'm just like, I don't know. So number one, especially if you are looking to give birth natural, ladies, my number one tip, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the number one, but this is the first one that I thought was definitely important. Your mentality, your mental. Giving birth naturally is no joke. Obviously, there's no painkillers. There's no epidural. There's nothing that can ease the pain of what your contractions feel like. And so that's why you have to make up in your mind, even prior to that you're going to get through this. And just kind of chant things to yourself. When I was in labor, I kind of just said to myself, your son's going to be here soon. You can make it through. This contraction will be over shortly, because contractions, at least for me, contractions, they come in waves. So it's not like this lasting, really like strong pain that lasts for hours straight, but more so contractions come in waves. As I'm sure you picked up while I was talking about 511, 711. Okay. So yeah, they come in waves. So you can feel the contraction coming, and then it reaches its peak of when it's the most painful, and then it dies down, and you're still kind of hurting from it. You're still, catching your breath from it, and then eventually your next one comes. And so that's what labor is. So again, it comes in waves. So it's a mental thing. So I was talking to myself and saying, this contraction will be over soon. Your contractions are, what's pushing, like literally pushing your son to be here in your arms soon. You can get through this. Breathe. You got this. You have to be truly, truly connected to your mental, and remain strong throughout the pain, because at the end of the day, your baby's going to be here soon. So that's definitely something that kept me strong, and that kept me in the right mode, I guess, you can say, to push the baby out, and to not ask for an epidural, and to not ask for painkillers, especially since I was in the hospital. So I very well could have received epidural, but then again, I was way too far along to even get one. But my point is, I could, use, per se, if maybe you're choosing to go the natural route, and then you're like, okay, I can't take this anymore. That's what's going to help you over the hump, is understanding that, this is a beautiful situation. This is a beautiful experience, despite the pain. And you're going to, I also said to myself, you're going to feel so much better after this. Once these contractions are over, there's no, medicine or anything that's going to have to circulate from out of your body after having your child. It's just, I would recommend look into the benefits of natural labor, natural birth. So anyway, it's a mental thing. All right, number 2, your breathing. My breathing is like the physical thing, outside of me, speaking to myself, talking to myself through it. Breathing. I definitely had to breathe because, again, contractions hurt. And your muscles need the oxygen in order to continue to perform under such a high stress, high pain, situation. And so my breathing is what got me through it. So I literally was, just as the contractions showed up, I allowed them to be, because I understood that, hey, this is labor. This is me bringing forth children, bringing forth my husband's legacy into the world. So just breathing in and breathing in the oxygen, and saying those things to myself, and that's what helped me through it. So while I was contracting, I just, again, kind of let the contractions take over, let them do their thing, tapped into my, my mental state of, again, you can get through this, you're strong, and just, because it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And I'm not saying that to scare any of you ladies who want to give natural birth, but who want to have natural birth, but I'm just keeping it honest. Okay. So yeah, my breathing, number 2, that's what got me through as well. My third tip for natural birthing is hip sways. You're going to want to sway those hips. You are going to want to sway those hips, and swaying your hips is actually what helps the baby down and out, because it basically kind of jimmies or shimmies the baby lower and lower into your birth canal, and lower into your cervix, in order for you to get birth. So swaying your hips is also something that helped progress my labor, helped baby get in again the right position to be birthed, and it helped move. I keep hitting this microphone, but it helped move labor right along. So I would say top 3 natural labor tips: your mental, get your mind right, watch positive birth stories, watch different doulas and midwives who have YouTube channels and who provide resources. Watch their videos, get their material, get their natural birthing class. Oh my goodness. purchase their natural birthing courses. Again, watch positive birth stories. Watch YouTube channels, again, by doulas or midwives who provide different types of training or tips in terms of getting through labor. Again, they're going to talk about breathing. They're going to talk about swaying your hips. They're going to talk about a birthing ball. If you have your husband, boyfriend, whomever, mom there with you, they're also going to give you tips on how they can provide support to you during those times. So I highly recommend doing all of those things to get your mind right in preparation for natural birth, because it is not easy, but you can do it. I did it twice, and I'm really happy I have. Let me see. Okay. So yeah, so my first one was your mental, get your mind right, ladies. My second tip was your breathing. As Lady Di said in the chat, deep exhales, inhales and exhales. Make noise, make a sound if you need to, because I definitely was. To help you get through your labor, to help you get through those contractions, because they're no joke. And then my third tip was hip swaying. Sway those hips, girl. Sway those hips. Help that baby jimmy and shimmy their way on down and out. Because by that point, when you're almost 10 months pregnant, 40 weeks, when you're almost 40 weeks pregnant, you are ready for that baby to come out, okay? So do what you need to do. Take your walks, sway those hips, and I hope for the best for you for your natural labor.